system that is going to move in across the area. Now, we could see a shower or two across the Big Bend overnight tonight, but most of the showers are going to stay east. We're going to see a relatively quiet day until the afternoon hours late and into the evening. And that's when we're going to start to see the approach of this Pacific storm system. Scattered showers, a few rumbles of thunder late in the evening into the early part of the overnight. Things get going across the eastern Permian Basin, then rapidly move east into the Concho Valley. But it's these areas where we could be looking at an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm. Also down into the Guadalupes, we start to see some snowflakes start to fly as that front starts to move in. And you can see kind of the spin with this whole system early into the morning hours on Sunday. Starting to roll in across the South Plains into northern portions of Lee County. We're seeing some snow move in as a cold air will drop temperatures first thing in the morning there. And areas of snow from the Davis, Apache, Delaware, Guadalupe Mountains extending back into central Lee County and across parts of the northern Permian Basin is what we'll be looking at. It's just going to be a rain-snow mix by the time it really gets to Big Spring, Midland, and Odessa, and we're not expecting any accumulations with this. Again, the isolated strong to severe thunderstorm, eastern, southeastern Permian Basin, lower Trans-Pecos, later in the evening hours and into the overnight with large hail, strong damaging winds being the biggest threats. And looking at snow totals again, we are going to see that we do have, for the most part, again, let's go back to that one time, upwards to 1 to 2 plus inches of snow into the mountain areas across the Guadalupes, I should say, lighter amounts across parts of the Permian Basin. And again, we do have this winter storm watch in effect for above 6,000 feet, 6 inches of snow possible across the Guadalupe Mountains into early Sunday afternoon and into the evening hours. So make sure you have that CBS7 First Alert weather app ready to go this weekend, so that way you can get the latest concerning this storm system.
Thank you very much, Tom. Now for a story that's all new here at 9 o'clock. 20-year-old Alex Brackman has been arrested for a string of auto burglaries. He faces multiple counts for those burglaries, along with other charges, like a felon in possession of firearms. On February 4th, OPD responded to the area of Parks Bell Ranch for reported multiple vehicle burglaries where several firearms were taken. Then on February 6th, an officer was patrolling the area when he saw a man in a hoodie and gloves next to a vehicle who fled on a bike when approached by the officer. OPD teamed up with UTPB officers to track down Brackman using a drone. Shortly after, OPD started receiving calls of multiple auto thefts at the Candlewood Suite Hotel and 4 additional auto burglaries in the Parks Bell Ranch community. This investigation is ongoing. Continuing to track crime now, Colton Hughes, the man arrested for killing his 67-year-old grandmother, has had his bond set at $2 million. Leah Hughes was found inside her home dead in late December. According to the Big Spring Police Department, at first, investigators thought Hughes died after she fell and was injured, but an autopsy found Hughes died from a gunshot wound. Colton Hughes was arrested during a traffic stop on Tuesday and now faces murder charges. Last night, we told you about a hit-and-run crash that happened yesterday afternoon in Midland. CBS7 has learned that the man who struck and killed a 10-year-old boy walking home from school has been placed on an immigration detainer. Midland County Sheriff David Kreiner confirms he has been deported from the United States 5 separate times and is not a legal citizen. CBS7 has also confirmed that the child who was hit while walking home from school has died. The man behind the wheel was 50-year-old Rogelio Ortiz Olivas. Police report he left the scene. This afternoon, the city of Midland says his original charge has been updated to hit-and-run accident causing death. The child was a student at IDEA Travis. The school and MISD released a statement saying in part, quote, "Our thoughts and prayers are with the student's family and loved ones." IDEA Public Schools say counselors will be on campus to provide mental health support for staff and students. You can read the full statement on our website. Just go to CBS7.com. In your education news, according to our partners at K-Best Media, the Big Spring ISD School Board has approved a bond election to be held on May 4th. The bond will total $219 million. Voters will have 2 propositions on the ballot this May. Proposition A totals $216 million for a new high school, new transportation shop, adding turf and lighting to the soccer field, and replacing 30 HVAC units. Proposition B is $2.3 million That'll be used for field lighting and an 8-lane track at Memorial Stadium. You can find more details on this bond at CBS7.com. Medical Center Hospital will receive a huge boost from the F. Murray Hall Foundation. The hospital received a $3 million donation to expand and renovate the ICU. It's the first time the hospital is renovating the ICU unit. The expansion and renovation is going to increase beds from 40 to 50 and will convert some existing rooms into universal care rooms, which are used for ICU patients who don't need one-on-one care.
Addition to a step-down unit, which is for those patients that need a little bit more attention. They're not quite ready to go to the floor, but don't need the attention that an intensive care unit provides. Once we start getting the funds in, we'll be able to start moving forward with architect designs and just start breaking ground and smashing down walls.
The total cost of the project will be $32 million. Once started, the renovation should take about 18 months to complete. Today in Stanton, people got some target practice shooting clay for a good cause. The Permian Warrior Partnership helps veterans with any task or access an item they need. Battle Dogs takes veterans on an outdoor trip in Alaska to help them connect with other veterans. The event benefited these two organizations that help veterans settle and find family when they return home.
When they lose that support network of the military and they go back to where they're from, the veteran community is different than it was in World War II. There's just not as many. So instead of going back and having access to a group of peers in their neighborhood, most veterans these days, it's a novelty. They're a one-off. And even in a large town, it takes some digging around to find another veteran.
The event had a clay pigeon shooting competition, a live auction, and raffles for firearms, special operations whiskey bottles, and even signed memorabilia from the Medal of Honor recipient. This was the first edition of the Blast into Spring Veterans Clay Shoot, and they hope to hold it for years to come. Founded in 1882, the Knights of Columbus Mission originally started as a charity for Catholic widows who lost their husbands. Since then, the Knights of Columbus have transformed into a charitable organization that implements its mission not only in the U.S., but in communities all around the world. One local organization getting the help of the Knights of Columbus is St. Mary's Central Catholic School. It was built in 1959 and is always in need of maintenance. There's also a constant demand for support to meet the various needs of the children. The casino night-themed event tomorrow night at the Marriott serves as an opportunity for people in the community to support not one, but two local Catholic organizations.
It's going to be like going to Vegas. Food and fun and live music, adult beverages for those who like to partake. A lot of blackjack tables, roulette, craps tables, live auction, silent auction, and so forth.
The funds raised from this event will go directly to St. Mary's Central Catholic School, helping them with their top priority demands. Doors will open at 7, and information about how to get tickets is up on our website, CBS7.com. Last week, a home in Midland burned down, and a single mother and her 5 kids were left homeless with nothing salvageable. A week later, a local coffee shop decided to give all their earnings from yesterday and today to this family. This isn't the first time that Peaches and Beaches Espresso has donated its earnings to a family in need. And it's not just money that they'll give to the family, but also basic necessities that the family lost in the fire. The Mattins' home was on the corner of A Street and Boyd Ave in Midland. The outside may look fine, however, the inside is a different story. Nobody was home, thankfully, when the house caught fire, but the family lost everything inside. Peaches and Beaches Espresso heard about this and decided to help, something that Sarahi Matan says is a blessing. Coming up here at 9 o'clock, you'll want to check in with us Sunday after Super Bowl 58. Our Hannah Brock will have the first part of her story, The Produced Water Problem, highlighting how produced water has changed and will continue to change the oil and gas industry. The Senate is working to pass a more than $95 billion foreign aid bill with assistance for Ukraine and Israel. It may be days, though, until a final vote, as Republican Senator Rand Paul has vowed to use complex chamber rules to slow the pace of passing the bill. Thursday, the chamber cleared a critical 60-vote threshold to advance it, but without an agreement from all 100 senators to speed up the process and swiftly pass the bill, the Senate is expected to work through the weekend with a final vote next week. If the bill is eventually passed by the Senate, it would go to the House. It's unclear when or if Speaker Mike Johnson would hold a vote on it. A number of House Republicans are opposed to further aid for Ukraine.
Well, again, it is going to be a first alert weather day for the possibility of thunderstorms late Saturday, snow possibilities on Sunday. We're going to get you up to date on all that coming up next.
This is a CBS7 First Alert Weather Day. Now, an update from Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
Well, let's take a look at the weather makers right now to find those storm systems for you that are going to be changing our weather coming up this weekend. We're talking about this system back across a Four Corners area. You see this trough, this little spin right here. That is that disturbance. It's going to move in across portions of West Texas here. It's going to kind of dig down into West Texas here over the next 24 hours and bring some changes to our forecast. It's also going to have some colder air to work with, and that is going to change things a little bit coming up on Sunday. Right now across the state of Texas, we have plenty in the way of cloud cover across the state. The radars, well, they're picking up a few rain showers across northeast Texas. All of this is mid to high level cloudiness that the radars are picking up and moving across right now. It just shows you kind of the thickness of the clouds that we are dealing with. We still have this main storm system back up here across the Four Corners area. And we have a myriad of fronts associated with this. 1 weak front is moving in across portions of East Texas. Here's the front we're going to be more concerned with late tomorrow into Sunday, ushering into colder air as that whole spin starts to move down across the area, and that's going to bring the changes. You can start to see some of the colder air spilling in. Amarillo's at 38 degrees, low 50s here across the Permian Basin. In comparison, 60s and 70s, so quite a range across the state of Texas as that colder air starts to roll into the panhandle. West Texas Futurecast may see a shower down across the Big Bend area, a little disturbance moving across. Most of the rain in the morning hours is going to be across portions of the heart of Texas and the north central Texas. We're going to see a pretty quiet day here across West Texas until after about 6 o'clock in the evening. And we're all going to see some snows try to develop across portions of the Guadalupes, Delaware, Apache Mountains, down towards the Davis Mountains, but it looks to be relatively light. But as that front's rolling in, here come the showers and thunderstorms. Some could be strong to severe across portions of the eastern Permian Basin. Then we'll see the wraparound snows as the cold air starts to spill in. Some of that affecting the Guadalupes into southeast New Mexico and across parts of the northeast Permian Basin into the morning hours. And it's going to slump down towards Midland, Odessa, Big Spring. We could see a rain-snow mix briefly change over to all snow, but because of warm ground and temperatures staying above freezing, not expecting much to stick, so not expecting any travel problems except in the Guadalupes associated with this. Snowfall amounts, again, relatively light out of all this. The heaviest at Guadalupe Pass, maybe a half an inch, but it looks like we could see in those higher elevations above 6,000 feet, upwards to 2 to 4 plus inches out of this. And again, just a little bit of a dusting across parts of the northern Permian Basin. Nonetheless, a winter storm watch is in effect across the Guadalupe Mountains above 6,000 feet for up to half a foot of snow. A possibility in forecast, and also gusty winds up to 50 miles an hour could cause areas of blowing snow late tomorrow night into Sunday afternoon, and also the possibility of an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm primarily into areas across the eastern Permian Basin into the lower Trans-Pecos late tomorrow evening into the overnight hours coming up on Saturday. Large hail, strong damaging winds being the main threat with anything develops, and the better severe weather is going to be off to the east. So the rest of tonight, here's what we are looking at, seeing again temperatures staying cool, staying cloudy out there. And for most of the day, it's going to be relatively quiet until the evening hours. That's when we'll see that front roll in with the scattered showers, thunder showers, and again a rain-snow mix across the Permian Basin, especially the northern Permian Basin, but are not expecting widespread travel problems out of this. But that could change, and we'll keep you up to date on that as we're expecting a chilly Super Bowl Sunday, milder weather just in time for Valentine's.
Thank you, Tom. While a vacation to Vegas is fun, staying there Super Bowl weekend might not be so fun on your wallet. We're going to break down how much it would cost your family up next. While most Americans will watch the Super Bowl from home, 65,000 people will be in the stadium, and more than 300,000 will just be in Vegas for the big game. Those folks might be experiencing some serious sticker shock right about now, especially if they brought the whole family. Donya Bacchus explains.
A Vegas vacation can be affordable, but not this weekend and not for a family of 5.
It's all been pricey. Yeah, we haven't found good deals yet.
The Valdez family from Arkansas also couldn't find enough consecutive nights at a hotel in their price range.
So we stayed at 3 different hotels so far. Yeah.
The 49ers fans paid for visits to the Sphere in Monday's opening night event, but at the moment have no plans to attend the game.
Do you have tickets to the game?
No. We saw the prices. We looked at them, but that was it.
This has been one of the most in-demand Super Bowls for StubHub ever.
StubHub's Joseph Bocanegra says ticket prices for the game have recently dropped from $10,000 a few days ago to about $5,500, but he warns inventory is dropping, snapped up by people who can easily drive to Vegas.
So 10% more sales overnight from California buyers than we had just the day before.
One place visitors can save money is on transportation. The Strip is only 4 miles long, and from here to Allegiant Stadium, it's a 2-mile walk. And if walking isn't your thing,
my insider tip is to use the monorail. Starting at $13, you can get a day pass that will drop you at stations up and down the Las Vegas Strip. It can be your best friend.
and let's not forget about food cost for a family. Experts say the best bet is a Vegas mainstay, the all-you-can-eat buffet. Danya Backus, CBS News, Las Vegas.
Still ahead, stunning images out of Iceland, where they've had their third volcanic eruption since December. We'll show you more up next. Captivating images are coming out of Iceland this week, with lava flowing over roadways in the southwestern part of the country as a fissure eruption is ongoing in the country's Reykjanes Peninsula. Ooh, that's a tongue twister, Tom. The lava covered a major travel artery that leads to the world-famous Blue Lagoon hot springs, which was forced to close its doors. Lava flows also hit thermal-based water pipes in the region just south of the capital Thursday, disrupting the supply of hot water to more than 20,000 people and leading the Civil Protection Agency to raise its alert level to emergency status. It's the third volcanic eruption in the peninsula region since December. And I mean, I've had friends go to those Blue Lagoons. This is really a gorgeous, gorgeous part of the world, Tom. But that's, I mean, 3 volcanic eruptions just since December.
And a good thing they're fissure eruptions, or you would hear about a lot. If it was ash, it would be a lot in the way of disruption of air travel between the United States and Europe. So again, I guess we're kind of getting lucky on that, but unfortunately these people to deal with. The neat thing about this is it's seeing that lava and then these snowfields.
Yeah, it's beautiful to look at, really.
I bet that is something to see there. Again, we're not going to see a snowscape like that, though, here, even though we're putting it in the forecast.
I know, but just a sprinkle, right?
Just a few flakes here, I think, across the Permian Basin. Now, we are going to have this strong cold front arrive later on Saturday. It's going to have a couple of thunder showers with it. And then late Saturday night into Sunday, the snow start up across the Guadalupe Mountains and spreading into portions of southeast New Mexico, northern Permian Basin, but we could see a rain-snow mix as far south as Big Spring, Midland, and Odessa. But again, not expecting widespread travel problems out of this, but just to make sure, you keep it tuned right here. We'll keep you up to date.
Our first snowflakes of the year?
Possible.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us here at 9. We'll see you on CBS 7 News at 10.
Well, a good Saturday morning to everyone. Changes are on the way with this next cold front arriving later on today. Most of the day we're going to be okay with temperatures in the mid-60s, but then thunderstorm chances in our forecast after about 6, 7 o'clock tonight.